Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone to kindly set your mobile phones in silent mode or switch it off, please, to ensure the event to progress smoothly. Thank you. Announcing the arrival of Yang Berbahagia Datuk Vice Chancellor of UniMAP. Please stand. UniMAP official song Wawasanku. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. Salam ilmu keikhlasan, kecemerlangan UniMAP dan salam Malaysia Madani. Yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologis Dr. Zaliman Sauli, Vice Chancellor Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Yang berusaha Profesor IR Dr. Muhammad Shukri Abdul Majid, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic and International Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Yang berusaha Associate Professor Teknologis Dr. Rozianti Rahman, Director of Center for Graduate Studies CGS Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Respected judges, yang berusaha Profesor Dr. Abdul Hamid Adom as our head judge, yang berusaha Profesor Maria IR Dr. Syaiful Zamri Abdul Rahim, and yang berusaha Dr. Syarmini Abdullah. 3 minutes thesis participants, UniMAP staff, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Center for Graduate Studies CGS UniMAP, I would like to welcome everyone to UniMAP's 3 minutes thesis 3MT competition 2024. As for information, this event is also being showcased live on our official YouTube channel Universiti Malaysia Perlis. Ladies and gentlemen, the 3MT competition is the UniMAP annual event suited especially for our PhD postgraduate students to showcase their PhD work just in 3 minutes only using a single slide. The winners will not only receive the prize money but will also represent UniMAP in the national level of 3MT competition, which will be held in UKM on the 30th June 2024, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, before we indulge ourselves in the upcoming presentations by the participants, let us first invite Yang Berbahagia Profesor Datuk Teknologis Dr. Zaliman Sauli, UniMAP Vice Chancellor, for his welcoming speech. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih saudara Nazif Aiman. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam ilmu keikhlasan penyelesaian masalah masalah komuniti, masalah industri, masalah NGO, masyarakat dan sebagainya. Bukan kita hanya membuat pendidikan yang untuk dapatkan apa ni, pemberian paper kertas kerja ke peringkat Q1, Q2, Q3 saja. Kita nakkan pendidikan kita ini lebih kepada semasa dalam masyarakat kita. Bukan sekadar kita nak dapatkan medal dalam pertandingan dan sebagainya. So itulah impak kepada masyarakat, negara dan seluruh dunia. Hadirin dan pelajar yang saya kasih sekalian, saya lihatlah para peserta hari ini sudah tentulah bekerja begitu keras, bekerja dengan kuat dan menunjukkan komitmen yang tinggi dalam projek pendidikan mereka. Jadi bukan mudah, kita tahu, bukan mudah untuk membentangkan ataupun menjalankan pendidikan dan membentangkan hasil pendidikan mereka dalam masa 3 minit. Saya harap dalam masa 3 minit ini kita dapat berkongsi apakah JIS. Dia lebih kepada macam TED Talks lah. Macam TED Talks jugalah dalam program ini. So ladies and gentlemen, today we have 13 participants coming from 6 faculties. 6 faculties, not 6 continents. And 1 institute. The winner will represent UniMAP at the 3 minutes thesis competitions national level, which will be held at Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia by the end of next month, perhaps. Jadi pada tahun lepas, peserta dari UniMAP telah berjaya melayakkan diri hingga ke peringkat akhir dalam pertandingan 3MT ini di peringkat kebangsaan. Jadi saya percaya calon-calon yang ada pada kali ini mempunyai karisma yang begitu tinggi dan insya-Allah kita dapat masuk bukan saja ke peringkat akhir tetapi menjuarai pertandingan 3MT di peringkat kebangsaan. Saya ucapkan syabas dan tahniah kepada semua peserta yang telah terpilih pada hari ini. Hadirin sekalian, saya mengambil kesempatan ini untuk mengucapkan tahniah dan selamat membaju jaya kepada semua peserta dan tahniah juga kepada penyelia-penyelia ataupun supervisor, co-supervisor, dekan-dekan, ketua-ketua jabatan yang telah memberikan komitmen yang tinggi bagi kita meningkatkan bukan sekadar bilangan pelajar PhD kita tetapi dari segi kualiti pendidikan yang dijalankan di UniMAP. Saya pun tidak mengambil banyak masa. Saya pun diberi masa 3 minit saja untuk merasmikan program pada pagi ini. Jadi dengan lafaz yang mulia, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya dengan rasa sukacitanya merasmikan pertandingan tesis 3 minit UniMAP bagi tahun 2024. Sekian, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you Yang Berbahagia Datuk. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please be informed that Yang Berbahagia Datuk will need to excuse himself to attend another official matter. So before that, let us have a quick photo session before Yang Berbahagia Datuk needs to leave the auditorium. So can I have those who are sitting at the right side and the left side of the hall to come and squeeze in the middle for us to take in the photo session. Those who are sitting near the front side, you can just come in at the front side. Okay, you can go up to the middle. Those who are sitting below, you can just come here in front and fill in the stairs over there. Okay, audience, you can join the middle side also. Kalau segan duduk depan, boleh naik ke atas. Okay. Okay, side. Okay. Okay, Faizal. Okay, ready? Nak tunjuk nombor 3 pun boleh, 3 minutes kan? Okay, 3. Ikut Datuk. Okay, 3. Ke belakang macam ni. Back of your hand. Alright. Okay, thank you again, Datuk, for your precious time. Okay. Judges, are you ready? Participants, ready? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the participants to shine next. Okay, please be reminded that you only given 3 minutes for your presentation. Okay, a single bell notification will be given to indicate the beginning of your presentation. Okay, kita tunjuk sikit bunyi loceng macam mana. Okay, so that is the beginning of your 3 minutes time. And a double bell notification signifying the end of your 3 minutes time. Okay, there will be no bell sound in the middle of your presentation, okay, to avoid any disruption. So once for the beginning and twice at the end of your 3 minutes time. All right, so we wish everyone the best for your presentation. Okay, let us start. The first participant, let us welcome Ghadir Muhammad Abed Abalaune, okay, from Nanomaterial Engineering with the title Solution Processed, Allahu Akbar, chalcogenide-based thin film solar cells. My apology.
Hello, I'm working in solar cell, the device that converts or generates electricity from sun. Nowadays, almost all the solar cells are thick, heavy, and almost made of silicon. On the other hand, solution-based solar cells, or which called ink-based solar cells, are devices made by printing techniques as printing inkjet or roll-to-roll technique. These devices are thin, flexible, and light, and can be easily used to any surface. Imagine you can print a solar cell to fit your rooftop, or you can design one as a butterfly shape for your daughter window, and maybe you can have it on your shirt or in your bag. The great promise for these devices are faced with the low conversion efficiency compared to the traditional solar cell or silicon solar cell. Now, the spirit of innovation is continuous, and the researchers all around try to find the solution and improve these solar cells' efficiency. Despite these great promises, the efficiency, lower efficiency, stay as like challenge for these solar cells. In thin film solar cells, CIGSE solars are shown high efficiency and can be used in thin film printing techniques. The challenge to incorporate these solar cells in printing techniques is to find a solvent that can dissolve all the chemicals into one stable solution and integrate it into manufacturing processes. So in my thesis, in my research, I'm working on one of the newly used solutions in ink or solar solvents, and try to do a simpler and less complex process to repair solar cell device. My ideas based on two main concepts. One, if I want to, okay, cannot continue? Cannot continue? Little, okay, thank you.
A little bit conclusion, yes.
Yes, in my work, I try to make it simple and based on the idea that to avoid one of the complex and highly controlled heat treatment and try to my solar cell without this step. And this is my research. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Gadir.
Alaikum salam.
Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions.
Yes.
One is, what's the comparison in terms of efficiency between what you're proposing and the ones available on the market? And secondly, how far is it from a commercially available product?
The commercially produced product efficiency is about 17.1%, and this one for the thin film one, that's based on the solution. But the conventional one, which is the silicone, is about to hit 30%. So based on the solution one, we try to find the processes which are easier and scalable and can be used as a printer. This is the significance of this process. But the challenge is the efficiency for now and the complications related to the process manufacture. Like it's growing during the last 20 years, like the solution-based cells in the last 20 years grows from 6% to 17%, and it's still growing.
from seeing the commercially available one?
Now we have commercially one. We have, but the problem that used for some extent, like the needs for low efficiencies, like not for like use for household solar cell.
Do you have any collaboration with any industry to conduct your research?
No, for me, no.
I mean, industry, you collaborate with any industry in conducting this research? Or any industry interest with this research?
No, just very published research about this topic. And try to follow every improvement happened in this field.
What are the limitations that you had encountered?
The limitations according to my thesis or the topic? Here in my thesis, I have complications related to the experiments. The lab, just like lab techniques, sometimes we have lack to do all the experiments. Sometimes the experiments stop and we have to repeat from the beginning. For now, I stop like when my steps need like a special type of furnace, and I cannot. It's not available. We will try to find another place to do this place. This is a crucial step to improve my or to optimize one of my steps. But until now, we do progress. We now in optimization step to get better and more better results. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kadir. Okay, next, please welcome Mr. Faharul bin Zubair from FPK. The title, Rhetorical Structure of the Introduction Chapter of Engineering Discipline PhD Thesis in Malaysia. Please welcome.
Testing. Please raise your hand if you think that writing a PhD thesis is something that is difficult. Anyone? Now please wave that hand if you need to write your problem statement more than 3 times. Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning. Writing a PhD thesis is something that is difficult because it is the highest degree that can be awarded, and it is also the longest writing assignment that we can do. Among the chapters in the PhD thesis, the introduction chapter is one of the most important and difficult chapter to be written. This is because the introduction chapter encapsulates the essence of the whole research. Of course, by years, students will be able to write this well. However, there is another problem. It needs to be written during the early years of study because of proposal defense session. And the proposal defense session is something that is important because it determines the direction and approval of the research. This is why there is a need for a writing guide. Sure, this writing guide already existed. However, there is no specific help in terms of discipline and institutional variation, especially in engineering discipline and Malaysian institution context. This is because research like this were always done by people like me, linguistic people. We tend to analyze texts that we are familiar with. A colleague from this university once told me that he needs to rewrite his problem statement 16 times before the submission of his thesis. 16 times. Wouldn't it be nice if we have a detailed guideline, almost like a recipe that we can follow? A guideline that describes the process step by step so that we can write a killer introduction. this is what I did. I reverse engineered this process. I analyzed the introduction chapter of 25 engineering best PhD thesis award recipients and candidates from UniMAP. I read every line, word by word. I meticulously described their rhetorical structures, strategies, techniques, and linguistic descriptions. The result? A writing model, which I call the Malaysian Engineering PhD Thesis Introduction Chapter Model. This will help students, supervisors, and academic writing instructors. Now please raise your hand once again if you would like to have access to this model. Anyone? Hopefully, this will help you to focus more on your research and less time spent on your writing. Thank you for your time.
Arul,
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
do you think 25 theses is enough?
25 theses in terms of analyzing UniMAP is all that I have. for the best award thesis. And in terms of analysis, we have reached saturation in terms of the data saturation. So 25 theses, yes, is enough.
Okay, thank you, Farah. Those 25 theses from UniMAP alone or from other universities as well?
From UniMAP.
I think you need to have a, what about different so-called sets of sources? Because now you have like very concentrated sources from UniMAP. So how's that going to compare with if you have a, for example, for UPM or different universities that might have a different environment, ecosystem and whatnot?
Yeah, we discussed that during doing the research. However, having thesis from different universities, since this is a qualitative and text analysis study, would not be able to generalize the findings. So, concentrating that to one university would give more tailored guidance in terms of findings assistance. Sure, for UniMAP also it cannot be generalized because it's a qualitative studies. But at least we're doing something for a localized place, and it is also in some way a context, a content analysis, and also a mixture of a case studies.
Okay, one last one from me. Of course, this is a good model, good initiative, but one might say that such a guideline may create robots kind of graduates that follow just the guidelines without having like proper freedom to express their literature's capacities. So what do you think about it?
I think that is a very good opinion. Yes, of course. But then again, in terms of its assistance, I think it will be able to give much more assistance since like the example that I've given, 16 times writing the problem statement. So having a clear guideline, and I'm not saying a good guideline, but then again, I choose the best thesis and try to come up with a guideline. Hopefully it can help and serve as a guideline. In terms of making it a robot thesis, I'm not sure if it's going to do that. Maybe we need further research for that.
Another question. Usually, it is a process of discussions between the candidate as well as the supervisors. I was wondering, in your approach or in your guidance, what sort of guide is it that you or your system will be able to provide for the students or for the candidate in order for him or her to actually write a good so-called chapter 1?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, the main objective of my research is to be able to identify and describe the characteristics of the introduction of this thesis. The model is actually a bonus. Yeah? And in terms of the guide, I'll give you an example, can I? Yeah? In terms of establishing the context of the research, there's this one method that is claiming centrality, yeah? Where you show that your research is important. So in terms of my model, it further describes this into being 5 strategies where you would describe that your research is important, you show that it is popular, magnitude, you show that it is novel, you show that there are problems, and not just problem, the one that I found is that you show that there is a need to do that. So this is the detailed guidelines that can be maybe be beneficial for students.
Those are the general recommendations or general expectations of a chapter 1 sebenarnya. That's why I'm wondering how you claim, because reading the title of your 3 minutes thesis title, Theoretical Structure of the Introduction Chapter of Engineering Discipline PhD Thesis in Malaysia, it gives the impression that you are actually just presenting your findings of the generic structure of a thesis or chapter 1 thesis for engineering discipline. It does not give an indication that you actually have come up with a suggested model or suggestion of how to write a very good chapter 1. It is an antithesis of what you're supposed to, you're proposing. Pam?
The title, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the comment.
I have one comment. You just explain the scenario, but you do not explain the proposed method you have done to write up a good introduction chapter. What is your comment?
Okay, thank you for the comment. I think this kind of question I think can be anticipated because I'm not proposing a method. I'm proposing a description of an introduction that is based from Best Thesis Award that I have analyzed. So this description is actually beneficial. This description is not a prescription. It is a prescribed model where I identify it and then other people can use it. It is not within the research question to teach people how to write a good introduction. No, it is to describe what are the elements that you have in an introduction.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fahrul.
Okay, thank you to all the panels and thank you everyone.
Okay, the next participant, please welcome T. Ho Woon from FTKM, Geopolymer Towards a More Sustainable World. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we witness the progress of urban growth, our planet pays a hefty price. Traditional constructions relies heavily on cement, the production of which is responsible for nearly 8% of CO2 emissions. But there is a more pressing issue at hand. The waste from our cities often ends up in landfill, leaking toxic substances into our environments. Harmful leachate seeping from this landfill contaminates soil and water, posing severe risks to ecosystem and human health. What if we could turn the problems into a solutions? Imagine a world where the waste material from coal power plants and rubber glove factories are not just useless refuse. Today, I introduce you to Geopolymer, a revolutionary materials crafted from these industrial byproducts. Not only does it have the potential to replace cement, it also encapsulates harmful substances, preventing environmental contaminations. Through my research, I've developed a unique formulation of Geopolymer that is 2 times stronger than the traditional cement. More impressively, it reduced the carbon emissions by up to 80% compared to the conventional cement productions. Wait, the benefit doesn't just stop at here. Our leaching tests show that Geopolymer had significantly lowered the risk of heavy metal pollutions compared to their cement counterparts, thanks to their dense and three-dimensional network structures. This isn't just about building a safer and more durable structures. It's all about fostering a sustainable cycle of waste reutilizations that support both our environments and public health. Our approach doesn't just mitigate the existing damage, but redefine how we think construction material altogether. Lastly, as we stand at this crossroads, the choice is ours. Continue down the path of ecological detriment or embrace a solutions that not only preserve but also enhances our environments. Let us all work together for a more sustainable future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Hui Woon. Okay, can you tell us which part you want to focus to replace the cement with geopolymer, and can you highlight the performance you have found in your research, and then any industry interest with your research at this moment? Thank you.
Okay, can I clarify your questions again? Like the first part is, what is the...
What part you have focused to replace the cement with geopolymer material?
Means the applications, is it?
Yes.
Okay. For my research, the application-wise, I'm focusing on the industrial side, where I'm actually building this more porous structure geopolymers to have the ability to immobilize and also do heavy metal absorptions of geopolymer, which means that these heavy, in industrial side, they are prone to these leachings of harmful substances from their wastewater. So with that, with geopolymers, it can limit the waste, the untreated, accidentally leach out wastewater. And then the second question is about what properties that I have studied. First, as I mentioned in the script, the strength. From my strength, it achieved higher than the cement, which is around 78 megapascal, compared to the standard ASTM, which required 28 megapascal only. Then I also study on the leaching behavior. So the one of the heavy metal zinc have the immobilizations of approximately 99.8% of immobilization efficiency, which is higher than the cement, and also the currently used stabilization solidification technique in cement. So the industrial that involved, so my raw materials is actually from coal power plant, TNB, Manjong, and also from Top Glove to get the rubber sludge. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure whether I have one or two questions, but depending. Okay, the first one would be, of course, there are there are quite well-known advantages of using geopolymer in concrete and cement. But one of the things that I think haven't been addressed is durability. Durability in terms of long-term durability after it's been exposed to maybe some harsh environments and whatnot. So compared to concretes or compared to conventional cement or concretes. So it's been known that for a long durability is kind of degraded quite a lot compared to conventional conventional concrete and how you address that. Although it has a good properties initially, but over time, still not be able to compare to concrete. That's one thing. And second is there are still lack of standard practice concerning use of geopolymer in building codes and whatnot. So I think why is that? Although you mentioned about the advantage of using this, but they're still not being introduced into the standard when it comes to building standards. Why is that?
Thank you for the questions. That is also one of the concerns that I address in my studies, because I want to study what are the things to leach out in harsh environments. So in my research, I actually do a few leaching standards, for example, TCLP, SPLP, and also other China standard to simulate harsh environment, for example, exposure to acid rain, or in the landfill conditions, or even other environments that we mix kind of acids, so that like acetic acid, those acids that we usually use in our household, like vinegar, okay? So we study what are the things that we leach out, like is it safe for human, safe for our environments compared to the cement. But through my research, I actually found that it's actually much better. And of course, the long-term effects that we need to discover are yet to discover. This is under my objective 4. Yeah. We will study the long-term performance in terms of acid attack. Yeah. Sorry? Oh, the standard of geopolymer, is it compared to the cement?
I think
sorry.
There's still lack of standards addressing geopolymer in terms of as a building standards. They are still not readily available. I mean, the conventional is still using concrete.
Yeah, okay. For Malaysia, we are still not ready for commercialize. But in Australia, actually there is this geopolymer factories or productions of geopolymer to support all these, to replace the cement. For example, one of the university in Australia is actually made up by geopolymer. Yeah.
Actually, you did say that if you use your geopolymer, it sort of addresses the waste materials in water, correct?
Not only water,
but also like you have tested it on rubber and I think some electrical waste as well, right? TNB?
No, it's TNB is they burn the core, so they produce the electricity. So after the burning process, there is this ash produced. Yeah, the ash.
Okay, how health? Okay, I'm just going to focus on the waterways. Okay, we use your material to neutralize whatever chemicals that's inside. How safe is the water after that? Is it
the concerns of the water is not for drinking purposes, but we address that geopolymer actually, if we do not use geopolymer technique or in any things, I mean, for example, solidifications or stabilizations technique, or maybe we use this harmful waste in our constructions material, then it can stabilize the harmful effects of the waste. So it prevents leaking those harmful substances into our environment. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. T. Next one, please welcome Ms. Ong Shi Wen from FKTK, Beyond Concrete, the Future of Eco-Friendly Building Materials with Pressed Geopolymer.
Let's talk about something that's really weighing down our planet, concrete. It is the most commonly used building materials out there. But believe it or not, it's responsible for about 8% of world's carbon dioxide emissions. That's a lot. And as our cities get bigger, we're using more and more concrete, which means that our carbon footprint just keeps getting bigger. While the normal concrete isn't great for our planet, there's this awesome alternative called geopolymer. The geopolymer can be formed by mixing the industrial waste materials with alkaline solutions. Can you imagine a house or an office with the walls that made from industrial waste materials? Yes, industrial waste materials. These techniques not only can give a new life for this waste, but also can reduce the carbon dioxide emissions from concrete by up to 80%. Essentially, it does the same job, just like the concrete, but way better for our planet. So my research takes this innovation a step further by working on something called pressed geopolymer. The pressure is applied on the materials to make it stronger and set faster. In fact, my result shows that the pressed geopolymer can achieve a compressive strength up to 135 megapascal, which is about 3 times higher than the normal concrete. So you're probably thinking that, what can the pressed geopolymer do? Well, it can be transformed into precast geopolymer units. Thinking of building with precast geopolymer units, it's like putting together the large Lego blocks. It isn't just a simple game. It's a smart way to build that can reduce the on-site waste and speed up the whole construction process. In conclusion, by using the pressed geopolymer technique, especially in the precast form, we are doing more than just building. We are making the construction industry less harmful to the environment and finding smarter and more effective ways in shaping our spaces. That isn't just about constructing a new building. It's about reshaping our future. Build green, build strong, build with pressed geopolymer. Thank you.
Two questions. One is, what's the difference between your work and your friend's work? Secondly, because you, actually this question applies to your friend just now as well. If you are building, you are using industrial waste as a building material, it itself was a waste material. How do we ensure the safety in using it as the building material if you want to live in that?
Okay, the difference between my work and his work is in terms of the fabrication methods. I use the pressing methods while he used the traditional called casting methods, where you just need to pour the mixture into the mold. But my one is applied the pressure on the materials itself. So from there, our application will be different. Because when we apply the pressure on the materials, it will become very solid materials. So it can be used to replace concrete. But him's one is to use like paste that can join the bricks together. And about the safety parts, okay, actually the pressing technique can tackle the leaching problems that usually seen in the concrete. Because when we apply the pressure, so the particles are very close together, then what will happen is the reactions will speed up, so it can lock up all the heavy metals inside the structure. So that's why pressing method can minimize the leaching problems.
Minimize does not mean stop.
Yes, but normal concretes also got leaching of heavy metals, but they don't harm to our body health.
Okay, she win.
Yes.
do you have any idea when we can see the building fabricated by Geopolymer in Malaysia?
To be honest, Geopolymer in Malaysia, maybe not yet, but in Taiwan, they have used the Geopolymer in constructing the building, and also like what my friend said, in Australia also.
So any initiative taken by related agency to realize it, Geopolymer building in Malaysia?
Okay, so for my future plan, I plan to continue my work by collaborating with the industry leaders and the policy makers, and to foster them to for the adoptions of pressed geopolymer technology. So this includes engaging in the educational outreach to increase their awareness in the sustainable building materials. I also intend to contribute in drafting the new standards and policy that encourage the use of sustainable building materials.
So when you estimate we can see the Geopolymer building in Malaysia? Thank you.
Maybe 5 years after I graduate.
Why do you say it 5 years after you graduate?
Because after I graduate, I need to find a work first, and then I need to do more research, and I need to find collaboration with the industry. So it may take a long time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ong. Next participant, please welcome Nur Farizah Nadirah binti Jaafar, Gold Nanoparticles Revolutionizing HPV Genosensors.
Have you ever wondered how this small creature able to revolutionize the future? Yes, this is gold nanoparticle. I know. Gold nanoparticle have merged as a game changer in environmental analysis, catalysis, and also biomedical application. But wait, little did you know, this gold nanoparticle also able to detect human papillomavirus at early stage of the cancer. And then, maybe there will be no more pap smear in the future that only torturing us as a woman during cervical cancer screening. This time consuming operation also having problem on specifically detect type of HPV strains. So now why not we invent new nanotechnology optical based genosensor that able to detect able to detect human papillomavirus with 8 of the gold nanoparticle as electrical enhancer. Their unique optical and electronic properties make them highly sensitive in detecting a wide range of biomolecules. And this comes to my golden key point, a facile, reliable, rapid multi-detection HPV genosensor kit. And I love to say that our HPV genosensor kit not only using endocervic swab, we also using a saliva as a sample. But how? First of all is a deposition of gold nanoparticles, and then we put the up test as a linker, and then we immobilize the ssDNA probe and detect the virus inside the sample. And then money become huge argumentation when we want to convert the conventional method into biotechnology, innovative research product. This is where we want this is where we innovate the idea of early detection of cervical cancer by using this multi-detection genosensor kit, which is much cheaper compared to the conventional method. So the novelties in this study are we response limit up to 1.75 millisecond and highly sensitive and selective device. Okay, so remember ladies, we are the queen. The queen are always turn the pain into power. I'm Fariza Nadira, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fariza. Okay, my question, if you want to compare your HPV CC kits with the current tool used at this moment, what point you want to highlight the special for your kit?
Okay, I love your question, Doctor. Okay, first of all, the gold method of detecting the HPV is actually pap smear with aid of the PCR. What is PCR? PCR is polymerase chain reaction. We use the amplification too much. That the consequences is they will having much more time, energy consumption, and also money consumption. So with this HPV genosensor kit, we will reduce the time consumption with much convenient, only using saliva, and then it also much cheaper compared with the process of having pap smear. I know, is actually a mom with one daughter. I know how difficult or how afraid we as a woman to having cervical cancer screening, to having pap smear. I know the field of swabbing endocervix. I know. That's why we invent the genosensor kit to make us as a woman feel more easier during pap smear or during HPV cervical cancer screening. So HPV genosensor kit also have rapid detection, which is only consume 1.75 millisecond during response limit. It also have detect the common virus that cause cervical cancer, which is HPV 58, 18, and also HPV 16.
So yeah, you said just now you reduce time consuming and money.
Yes.
So can you convert into the value or percentage compared to the current practice?
Value of percentage of accuracy.
For example, you said you can reduce the money. So how the cost was reduced compared to the current?
Okay. So basically, I know for right now they have one kit for HPV, but it is a lateral flow, such as a pregnancy kit. So actually, compare with that, I think yes. Compare with that in term, yes, you know, we cannot compare the apple with the dragon fruit, right? We need to compare with apple. So that kind of kit is lateral flow. So this kit is electrical based. So that's why you can you ask about, doctor ask about percentage, how much, berapa ringgit, berapa ringgit lah kan. So bila cakap pasal berapa ringgit ni, sorry, bahasa Melayu, bila cakap berapa ringgit ni, saya rasa maybe akan lebih mahal daripada yang ada untuk lateral flow, tapi kita menjanjikan sistem yang tepat, which is kita detect specific type of HPV yang boleh membantu untuk spread the awareness, pertama. Yang kedua untuk mengumpul data, ketiga adalah untuk buat vaksin.
You test your HPV CC kit in the real situation?
Yes.
And recognized by any specialist?
Yes, actually in this study we have collaborated with the MGI, Malaysian Genetic Institute, and also Hospital Tunku Fauzia. MGI provide us a sample of the HPV. Actually it is a swab, endocervix swab. So by using this system, by using our probe, we have actually detect two type of commonly virus that can cause cervical cancer, which is HPV 58 and also HPV 18. With the percentage of accuracy is 91.42 and 90.81%. How safe is it? Okay. As you know, we're using a saliva, which is a non-invasive. So, such as like we take a COVID test. The safe is as we use the COVID test, that kind of safe lighting. That do not use that endocervic swab, and they need to go the LPPKN and also, yeah. Yes, it is possible because we detect at early detection. The cancer is not become malignancy. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nur Fariza. Next, please welcome Ms. Fatin Shakirah binti Halim from INEE, a beacon of hope, the SARS-CoV-2 Nano Biosensor.
Test, okay.
Do we wait for Prof. Hamid? Oh, okay, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to a world where innovation meets necessity. I am Fatin Shakirah Halim, and today I would like to share my research journey towards developing a nano biosensor for SARS-CoV-2 detection. Okay, COVID-19 pandemic has COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped our lives, challenging us to find new ways to protect the community. One key weapon for this problem is rapid and accurate testing. So this is my research comes in. Imagine a tiny biosensor, a tiny device that can detect genetic fingerprint of SARS-CoV-2 with just minutes of time without complex instrumentation and specialized training. This is the promise of our nano biosensor. The application of the specific DNA probe as a bioreceptor enhances its sensitivity. The application of the carbon quantum dots enhances its sensitivity to 95%. And a label-free approach that can be achieved by using aluminium IDE can be making it possible for point-of-care devices. And unlike traditional QRT-PCR that has many complicated process and labeling, our nano biosensor can detect the genetic fingerprint of the virus with just minutes of time and directly and in a clinical sample. The novelties of our biosensor lies in its detection system, where it can sense various sublineage of SARS-CoV-2 with high sensitivity and selectivity thanks to the carbon quantum dots and also the specific DNA probe as a receptor. And this is not just an academic achievement, but it is a beacon of hope for the world grappling this pandemic effect. And in conclusion, I stand before you not just as a researcher, but as a harbinger of change. Our hope is not just to make a tool for today, but to pave a new way for future innovation, especially in disease detection. And I am Fatin Shakirah. Thank you so much for lending your ears.
Okay, thank you very much, Siti Fatimah. Siti Fatimah kan?
Fatin.
Fatin Shakirah, PM.
Tiba-tiba tak datang kan?
Fatin Shakirah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, do you think your finding this research is needs today?
Yes.
Because COVID-19 is gone. So, what do you think?
Okay, thank you for your comment, Doctor. Okay, I think my research is significant for today's because as we know that COVID-19 is not yet disappear, it just evolve, it just mutate. So our biosensor use a DNA probe. So the nucleotide sequence for this DNA probe, we have analyzed it using bioinformatic tools, and we have compared it with the mutation version of other SARS-CoV-2, and it shows that our nucleotide sequence for DNA probe is 100% similar with the other sublineage. So, as a conclusion, if we use this probe and we can sense other mutation version of other SARS-CoV-2. And the other two things is we don't know, we might the other virus might be coming, right? So by using this knowledge, for the development of DNA probe for Nano biosensor, we can just change the nucleotide sequence according to the gene of that virus, and then we can develop a nano biosensor for detection of that virus.
Okay, have you patented this immersion?
Yes.
And any industry interest?
Okay, we have collaborate with Malaysia Genome Institute where we get the real sample, the clinical sample from there, and then we also collaborate with the industrial Nanobiogene, Mr. Tan from Nanobiogene, and this time we in part of the discussion on to test more clinical sample on to validate this biosensor. Okay.
Okay, how would you compare to other methods? How effective is your method compared to the other that is already available?
Okay.
Like antigen, viral tests.
All right. Okay, so the commercial kits outside is more on the antigen and antibody interaction, where the probe used that is antibody, not the DNA probe. So the antibody will be detect the antigen. The antigen means that the whole virus. So it might be can be a false positive or false negative because the antibody might be capture the other virus that inside our body. For example, if we have flu or influenza and at the same time you have COVID. So sometimes the interaction is might be disrupted by the other virus. But our biosensor use the genetic fingerprint of the SARS-CoV-2, means that it's genes. So it is very selective to the SARS-CoV-2 only, not to the other virus.
So it's very specific and precise.
Yes.
How many variations can it detect? I mean,
Pardon?
COVID has evolved, right?
Yes.
So how many variations of it?
So for at the time being, I already test with various sublineage, means that from Omicron and the original one, and the result shows that the DNA probe can detect the virus SARS-CoV-2 from the Omicron too. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fatin. Please welcome our next participants, Ms. Shazwani binti Muhammad Fuzi from FKTK. More kilometers with jarak seeds biodiesel, myth or fact? Please welcome.
Imagine you are at a petrol station and you notice that there is a new petrol at a cheaper price and you are so excited to try it. Without thinking much, you fill your empty carton with this petrol and then you go straight to work. After 2 days, you realize that this petrol runs out faster than the previous one. Even though you didn't drive much, you just go straight to work. Can you guess why? Let me share a fact with you. Do you know that the consumption of petrol for our vehicles depends on the heating value of the petrol? Heating value, what is that? Heating value means how much energy is released when fuel is burned. High heating value means that high energy is released, resulting in low consumption of petrol used to run the engine, and you can further longer distance with this petrol. Meanwhile, low heating value means that less energy is released, resulting in higher consumption of petrol and shorter travel distances. So, that is the focus of my PhD study, which is to produce a high heating value fuel from jarak seed. This seed is small and oval in shape, usually dark brown or black in color. Its plants is easily grown even in the porous rocky soil. Doesn't this sound great? Interestingly, this seed contains of a high oil content, which is 40 to 60% of its weight. That's why I choose jarak seed. We can extract its oil and convert the seed into biodiesel. This biodiesel can be used in buses, lorries, heavy trucks, and even airplanes. Unfortunately, this seed has a high undesired oxygen content, which is 20%, which reduces its heating value. Therefore, we need to remove this oxygen from the seed. But how to do that? In my work, I designed a low-cost nickel catalyst that has a special characteristic to remove this oxygen. In other words, RMN, oxygen killer. Using a high-pressure reactor and a small amount of nickel catalyst in methanol, I successfully reduced the oxygen content from 20 to 8%, significantly increasing its heating value. As a result, we can go far with this biodiesel. And the good news is that this affordable jarak seed biodiesel offers great potential to replace our costly palm oil biodiesel. Malaysia can save billions of ringgits. Let's think about it. Thank you.
Okay, Shazwani, how large plantation you need to produce 1 liter biodiesel using jarak seed?
Thank you for your question.
How large your plantation need to produce 1 liter biodiesel using jarak seed?
1 liter. Okay, thank you for your question. Okay, this seed contains of a high oil content, which is 40 to 60%. So, which is more higher than palm oil biodiesel, right? And
in for example, 1 acre, you have 1 acre jarak seed plantation. How much? How many liters you can produce jarak seed biodiesel?
okay, from 1 acre. Okay, from 1 acre. Okay. From 1 acre, we might plant about 50 trees. Okay, and in my opinion, from 1 acre, we might produce about in per year, maybe 1 ton per year, maybe 1 ton. Yes.
We need to wait 1 year to harvest jarak seed and then to convert into the biodiesel.
No, because this seed, we can get the seed about 6 months to get the seeds,
Okay.
and then this seed is available every year. Okay, and then we can convert this seed into biodiesel anytime. Okay. thank you for your question. A very good question. Okay. In my experiment, I need to deal with a high pressure reactor. As we know that this pressure reactor has high possibility to explode if I'm careless or I'm mishandling this reactor. So I need to make sure that I follow all procedures strictly while handling the reactor. For example, before I run the reactor, I have to make sure that all valves are tightly closed. Okay, and praise to God, all experiments runs very well. Thank you.
Okay, how would you rate the effectiveness of your biodiesel compared to the ones that's already in the market?
Okay, in my study, I compare the heating value of my biodiesel and with the others biodiesel. Okay, but we haven't done further study on the performance of this biodiesel on the engine. Okay, so that's our next plan, which is to do further research on the performance of this biodiesel on the engine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shazwani. Next, please welcome Ms. Azlini binti Cik Hassan from FPK, Creating a Better Future with Psychological Well-Being. Please welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, there is a large gap between the number of PhD students enrolled and the number of PhD students graduates every year in Malaysia public universities. Secondly, as we know that the PhD students, they are facing a very stressful research environment during their studies, which could lead them to poor mental health. Taking up this kind of scenario, I turn on these mental health problems to be a positive side of research. This side of research is called psychological well-being. Psychological well-being means or refers to optimal functioning and positive life of experience, such as happiness and satisfaction. So this psychological well-being construct in my study, it is a dependent variable, consists of 18 items and few subcomponents such as happiness in life, self-acceptance, autonomy, and environmental mastery. By combining two theories, which are job demand resources theory and study demands resources model, I pick up these two theories to decide what kind of PhD demands and what kind of PhD research suitable to my study. So the PhD demands selected are publication pressure and techno stress, while the PhD resources selected are personality traits and supervisor support. At the end, I also include burnout as the mediator of the study. So this is my study. The research aim of my study is to examine the relationship between PhD demands, PhD resources with burnout as mediator on psychological well-being. The sample is the public universities PhD students. This is an applied research and it is benefited by producing the new research framework on the psychological well-being to the PhD students. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Azlini. Okay, may I know when you get the data, we see the root cause, where you get the data is, which show the root cause of student cannot complete the studies?
Actually, I got the statistic from Ministry of Higher Educations, the number of enrollment and also the number of graduates every year starting 2013 to 2022. So there is a large gap there because as we know that the number of graduates is around 350,000 something, and the enrollment and the graduate is around 33 something around that. So there is a large gap there.
So how you identify the root cause? They cannot complete their study.
Because they already enrolled as the PhD students. Okay, so and by within the 10 years around that, so the number of graduate is quite small. I think that they are facing a lot of issues regarding to finish their studies.
So how you want to identify the real issue, the exact issue cause they are not complete their study?
Actually, okay, I also do some research related to the categories of the universities, which are, we have 4 types of universities. So according to these 4 categories, okay, research universities, which we have 5 universities, they got a very high of graduation percentage, high enrollment, and also high graduation of percentage compared to other types of universities. That is very lowest. Okay. And then because of that things, I think that this kind of RU will be my I analyzing this 5 universities to be included in my study. So from this from analyzing to that RU university, so I will determine the issues of why RU can be better in terms of their psychological well-being compared to other types of universities.
I think we want to know the real issue, the correct issue. We need to ask the student which are not complete their study.
Actually,
So
I'm doing applied research. So applied research is about quantitative research. So quantitative research, I'm putting publication pressure as one of the variable.
How you know the pressure to produce the publication?
From the result, from the level of the result. Okay, I'm testing the hypothesis between PhD demands. Yes, we know that the demands is there to complete the PhD. For example, of the demands that I selected, publication pressure, and of course the techno stress. And from this, when we testing the hypothesis, we can get the real scenario actually. What happened to the students? Is it there are pressure because of the publication?
Okay, my last question.
Okay.
How many students that cannot complete their study agree with your finding?
So actually, according to the statistic, for the around 10 years, is around 10%. 10% are graduating. It's quite low.
Okay, Azlini, may I ask? I think in your course of your research, do you conduct interviews with actual candidates?
No, I don't do the interview.
So you don't do interview?
Because I'm doing the applied research. Applied research means quantitative. Means I giving the survey, distribute the.
Yeah, so you distribute survey to
the selected students.
Yeah. So you don't actually have you don't interview them based on the responses that they have.
No.
Okay.
I think that is for the next thesis, for any students that want to do the next thesis, maybe they can apply for the qualitative method.
Okay, in your research, based on the responses that you have actually acquired, what solutions are you suggesting to address this issues that you have highlighted, as in publication pressure, techno stress?
Actually, when I'm doing my research, actually, so many of the research in the social science are focusing on the negative aspect. For example, like the mental health issues, and one of my study is about the positive one, which is promoting the psychological well-being. For the PhD students, of course, we face a lot of stress. Sometimes we lack of support sometimes. And I think that by promoting this kind of psychological well-being, that should be included in anywhere, might be in the community, in the university also, I think we can increase the number of PhD students, graduation, especially GOT, graduate on time.
One last question. Who will be responsible to actually implement this psychological? Is it counseling? Is it within the faculty? Is it the supervisor? So who do you actually, based on your findings and your...
Because I'm not taking all the elements, only selected elements. For example, like the pressure on publication. Okay, so the issues there is about publication issues. Okay, that one of the example. And then might be techno stress is about the supervisor support. I think that everybody must be together in order to promote this kind of psychological well-being, including the student also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Azlini. Next, please welcome Ms. Tasnim binti Sofri from FK10, Assessment and Intelligent Hybridized Multi-Stage Feature Selection for 5G Base Station Antenna Health Effect Detection.
Okay, hello, hi. I want you all to imagine you're sitting down right now and your phone isn't with you. Nightmare, right? So what makes our phone very useful? Is it because you're using an Android? Or is it because you're using an iPhone? No, I don't think so. It's because of the data from the connection of the base station. So let's break it down. What makes the connection works? The technology evolves from the 2G, 3G, 4G, and now the internet is powered by 5G. So actually, 5G 101, 5G uses really high frequency, but really low wavelength. So to maintain its coverage, it actually needs really use small base station among us. So from there, the EMF exposure will be increases among us. So the big question is 5G really safe? Some claims that the 5G causes cancer, headache, fatigue, and then some high body temperature. Are these claims to be true? Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. I'm here to be your 5G detective, to actually dive in deep and to uncover the issues about what's 5G and its health potential impacts. So here I am to explore the solution with you. So we actually did a really detailed assessment on adults, like real human adults, that radiated from the 5G to know whether it affects their health. So this involved actually the 5G radiation that with different frequency, of course, in a double-blind study where the researcher and the adults did not know they are being radiated by the 5G. Yes, of course, we use the ethical approval for this assessment. So from there, we collected their physiological, their cognitive, their brainwave, their well-being based on the assessment. So from there, we can get the data set, and then we run a few magic techniques called multi-stage feature selection and machine learning to classify the health effect. And then it's like a detailed technique for us to actually to do the assessment to whether know that the health effect is affected or not. So the aim is actually to copy the real base station scenario and then to reflect on the real world exposure from this research. So the research is very crucial for us all in order to know that whether 5G is really safe or not. So you know what they say, health is the greatest wealth. So stay safe. Tasneem signing off.
Okay, Tasneem, in your study, have you considered long-term exposure to the 5G radiation?
Thank you, but my focus is only on the short terms. Like the adults are being exposed for 60 minutes. From there, 60 minutes, but yeah. And then we did it like 4 sessions. Like they will come each session, and then after that we do the assessment. Each of the sessions with different frequency, and then there's one with no frequency, so that we can compare their health measurement. I mean, like their physiological, their cognitive from there. So yeah, it's so my focus on the short terms. Distance of, it's like 2 meters. Yeah.
Tasneem, how 5G can affect us? Can give is it 5G is bad to us in terms of health?
And then I actually that's like my really purpose of doing this research. Like some claims, you know, like without a really specific research, they're claiming that because of the 5G they're having dizziness. You know, because of the 5G they're being really tired and stuff. And then even claim that the 5G had to do something with COVID. So like, do you guys know, like in the United Kingdom they need to provide a guideline for the people, because they're saying that the 5G like really dangerous for us all.
So
like,
where you get that data?
Get data for one. This is actually like a collaboration research I did with MCMC. So from there, they like asked us, proposed us to do like, assessment.
So that mean 4G is good for us, to us.
4G before this also good, but the technology is not the same. Like 4G, the technology in terms of the very technically it's not the same. So from there, the gap of my research is that I want to focus.
So I mean, in terms of effect to our health, is it 4G or 5G is good for us?
This is the safe exposure. Like the 5G and 4G is very safe, but how can you tell like if it really safe without any like detailed research, like very detailed assessment, very detailed measurement setup?
Any data from I mean maybe from Ministry of Health to support your study?
Data, but there's a study that claiming like they claiming that they're asking like all the professors, all the research to do the what is it called? Like risk assessment, like because they're saying that the exposure, the EMF exposure around us are like giving cancer, carcinogenic, I mean like very bad. So that's why
you have any data that cancer caused by 4G or 5G? That cancer caused by 4G or 4G, 5G or 4G technology?
Meaning previous study? study, yeah, before this. Like
Data from Ministry of Health.
no, like we focus on the
So if I say
uh,
there is no issue to our health
mm,
because of 4G or 5G, how you want to defend?
no effect. How so what we did is that the assessment that we did, we collected like all the human, I mean like all of us, I collected like 60 human that time, and then for me to to measure, to know their health at that time, that when they are being exposed. Maybe that's a really good consideration maybe for future for the long-term studies after that.
Sorry, just now because office was texting me, so I was not unaware. Alright, my question is this. Okay, you did say that, I mean, there is an assumption here that 5G causes health. Okay, in your research, and I will just echo what AP Dr. Saiful here. Okay, when you were actually testing your 16 respondents, not humans, respondents as in they're human beings, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you turn them as respondents for your samples. Okay, so how did you, I mean, what was your measurement to see or to evaluate whether they were actually having any side effects from the exposure to the 5G?
Yeah, okay, good question. Okay, so from the assessment that we did, like all the humans, we were put in the the experiment, the RNA room, and then from there I collected their body temperature, their blood pressure, and then their heart rate, and then also their cognitive, that we made like a task for them to play a few games in order to know that what's their cognitive measurement at that time. Is it good or is it bad? And then like we also record their brainwave and also their well-being at that time. So we did like four sessions, like when they are being exposed or not being exposed. So we compare.
No, the exposed means there's no handphone near them at all.
No. So because at that time we just like only focusing on the 5G signal, because if we like put it like in public like this, there will be like lots of other signals, but I want their interference. So I just want to focus on the 5G signal, like how.
So what did you detect actually? I'm curious. What kind of help?
I detect on their physiological changes, like maybe when they are being exposed, the temperature may be a bit high or maybe a bit low, their body temperature, or maybe their blood pressure increases, and then I also recorded their cognitive, their how their brain works, their work shift, their and then their well-being. Then we answer a few questionnaire at that time. So from there we recorded all the data, and then from there we want to detect and classify based on the assessed data.
So what is your conclusion? 5G affects health?
Actually, we came with a conclusion, not really done it halfway, but the conclusion is that actually there's no effect. Like we compare like their body temperature or like maintain, I mean a really good range of the healthy rating, and then their cognitive also we look like, is it maybe something to do with how their brain works at that time. So from there we want to know that whether 5G making is it really claims that true that being 5G have a high body temperature, like they have headache that time. So we want to know their well-being there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Taslim. Next, please welcome Mr. Muhammad Shukur bin Abdul Rahim from FKTE, self-tuning fuzzy PID controller algorithm using evolutionary methods for active water cooling control of photovoltaic photovoltaic module. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I am honored to share with all of you about my research, which is to enhance the PV module efficiency using active water cooling system. Actually, the main focus here is to control the temperature of the PV module. As all we know, PV module, which also called as solar panel, needs sunlight in order to generate electricity. However, this same sunlight will bring heat, which can negatively impact the PV module. What will happen to the PV module if it contains too much heat? There are two major problems will happen. The first one, the power generated will be decreased, and the second one, the lifetime of the PV module will be shortened. Imagine we buy a PV module with a rating of 200 watt, but it can only generate 180, from 200 to 180. And then imagine we buy a PV module, we want to use it for 20 years, but we can only use for 15 years. So it's a waste here. How do we solve this? So here comes my research. I have developed a closed-loop control system which was fine-tuned using an intelligence algorithm. This intelligence algorithm will control the water flow by adaptively spray a thin layer of water on top of the PV module. By using this method, not only we can maintain the optimal temperature of the PV module, but we also can clean the PV module top surface. So it's so awesome. We can maintain the optimal temperature, and then also we can clean the PV module surface. So how do we know this system works? Is it working or not? So I have run an experiment by using two sets of PV modules. The first one, PV modules without any cooling, and the second one, PV module with the cooling system. Both PV are the same rating, same spec, and was measured at the same time. So at the end of the experiment, the PV module with the cooling system does generate 15% more power compared to the PV without any cooling. So to conclude, this cooling system does enhance the PV module's efficiency. Thank you.
So
So these three ingredients offers benefits such as moisturizing, detoxifying, exfoliating, and hydrating, and many more. So, including these three ingredients inside my nanoparticles elevates the quality of my soap. So therefore, my research aims to save the environment by transforming a household waste into a quality product. Thank you.
Okay, Monisha, this is a very really interesting research and a very a very good effort. Because I do cooking a lot, and I hate frying because you always have to throw away the oil after that.
That's true.
And I always wonder where does it go. Of course, in Malaysian system it goes into the drains and causes more pollution. But I have a question. Why are you focusing on liquid and not solid soap?
I actually produce two types of soaps, but my main is on liquid because there's a lot of projects on bar soap, but I don't come across any liquid soap that are produced from Moringa oleifera. So I was thinking, okay, why don't I take this approach to produce liquid soap instead of bar soap?
So that means people have used cooking oil to produce bar soaps?
But they use cooking oil, just the cooking oil itself. They do not include any other ingredients to enhance the quality, like the ones that are made at home.
Okay, so what kind of cooking oil? Olive oil, palm oil,
any
oil?
sorts. Okay.
And then what about, like, we use oil for so many purposes.
Yeah.
So how do you actually process it, especially when you do deep frying, whether you're doing animal based, like you fry chicken and fish? The smell is different and the texture becomes different in comparison if you're frying fruits and vegetables or
Yes, that's
so
true.
how would you process that? Does it affect?
So I start with pre-treatment process, which I use cornstarch and also ginger. So these two combination of ingredient takes out any sorts of impurities and also smell. So at the end, when you obtain the purified oil, you will only smell ginger. You won't smell any other things that comes from whatever cooking that you did previously.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
Okay, Monisha.
Yes.
I'm quite interested with the Moringa oleifera.
Okay.
Why specifically you choose this?
Okay,
Right.
so Moringa oleifera, as we know, it's also called malunggay. So that's in abundance in Malaysia. So we can see this plant everywhere in Malaysia. So a lot of people doesn't know about the qualities and the benefits of this plant. So why don't we just take something that is in abundance, and also this will help in reducing the cost, and it has a lot of potentials.
But then I'm okay if you introduce Moringa to consume. But this one is just for washing your hand.
Oh, no, okay. So the thing is, why I'm incorporating nanoparticles is that, it is in nano size. So which means that it has the ability to penetrate into our skin more effectively than normal soaps. So it will go inside your skin and release the moringa. So it will travel and enhance the skin properties. Like if you have scars, it will heal the scar wounds or whatsoever.
Okay, thank you, Miss Monisha.
Thank you.
Next one, Mr. Jidado Muhammad Junaid from FKTK, Green Hydrophobic Nano Coating for Post-Harvest Harum Manis Mango.
Okay, my name is Gidado MJ. I'm here to present my project, Green Hydrophobic Nano Coating for Harum Manis post-harvest. So basically, when fruits are harvested, they undergo a series of post-harvest processes, like handling, sorting, transportation, and storage before it reaches the consumers. So along these processes, two significant factors usually affect the yield of fruits. Like we produce 90% of fruits, but before the fruits reach the consumers, it will be like 15% or 20%. So along this process, two significant factors affect the yield of Harumani's mangoes. These are anthracnose disease and water loss. This anthracnose disease is caused by microbes, while the water loss is as a result of transpiration. What I mean by transpiration is the transfer of moisture content from the fruit to the environment. So these two issues affect the yield and the quality of the fruits. So common control strategies used to mitigate these issues include synthetic fungicide, packaging materials, and edible coatings. So, however, these methods have setbacks and limitations that reduce the effectiveness of the methods. So, to address this issue, we developed novel treatments, the green hydrophobic nano coating from plants, natural products. So this coating has three properties. One, hydrophobic properties that will help to reduce the water loss. And the second one is antimicrobial property. This antimicrobial property can mitigate the anthracnose disease, while the third one is the antioxidant property. This antioxidant property will help to extend the shelf life of the fruit through the supply chain until the consumer. So, as you can see, as illustrated in the figure, this is how the coating works. So when we apply the coating on the fruit, so it will form a hydrophobic layer. This hydrophobic layer will protect the fruit from losing the moisture content, as well as protect the fruit from pathogen attack, like I illustrated in this figure. So we coat this, we coat Harumanis with this coating. We stored the Harumanis for 21 days. So after 21 days, we got these results. So we compare our coating. Okay. Okay, so we compare our coating with the commercial treatments. As you can see, the mangoes, the one hidden, the one I circled red, is my coating. So if you can see, after day 14, you can see the difference. So my coating did not show any sign of anthracnose or water loss and maintained high quality compared to other commercial treatments. So the benefit of this novel coating, it will minimize the post-harvest losses, minimize the environmental impact of using synthetic fungicide, and also improve the food security. So,
Mr. Gidado, okay, is it safe for human consumption?
Yeah, it is, because the coating is from the plant products, natural plant products.
Have you tested it before? I mean, like, studies to see, like, once consumed, that there's no side effects?
Yeah, we did sensory evaluation, so everything is well. And the coating is very soon we take the coating to the market, because we collaborate with so many farmers, so they are interested. So after this research, now the research is completed. So after this, we can give it to them, to the market.
Can we apply it to other fruits?
Yeah, we did. We published
like
papers. Yeah, we did. We did for banana, apple, other fruits.
So is it applicable to more than just Harumanis?
Yeah, we got good results, as you can see.
All right, thank you.
Gidado, how many numbers of Harumanis mango have you tested?
182.
182.
Yes.
So
just for the quality.
Okay.
Because we did for the quality, we did for antimicrobial, we did for sensory evaluation. So just for the quality.
So this coating still not commercialized?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, we arrange everything, so very soon it will be in the market, inshallah.
So how much you estimate in terms of pricing compared to
Okay.
the competitors?
Huh?
Compared to the competitors,
Uh-huh.
how much?
Like how
The
much
cost,
what?
the cost of your
My cost?
product, yes.
Oh, it's cheaper because we use menthol and thymol. Like you can get menthol 3 ringgits, thymol 3 ringgits. You can produce like how many gallons? Yes. So it's cheaper. That's why the farmers need to, yeah, they are welcome with it.
Why only now you invent this?
Huh?
You should have invented this earlier.
Yeah, because you know Harumani is very expensive. So at least if we can use this coating, I think to be okay.
You said just now the Harumani is very expensive.
Yes.
So when we apply the coating, we can sell the Harumanis more expensive.
Okay, wait. Wait, no. You know what? That's why this coating has antioxidant property. You know why? Because the antioxidant of this coating will be able to extend the shelf life. Let's say we want to transfer the Harumanis from this country to another country. You know the ripening process is fast. So this coating will be able to reduce the ripening process. So that when the mango reach the country, the destination, it will be in a good shape. So now I buy Harumanis. I want to keep it and eat it maybe next week. If I apply this coating next week, it will be the same. If I want after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but if I did not apply this coating, after 3 days, you know what is going to happen.
So after this, we can sell our Harumanis more higher.
Yeah, you
Do
can
agree?
transfer from one country to another. It's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, one last question. When do you apply the coating?
Huh?
When do you apply the coating?
Like how?
When?
Okay, that's why it's post-harvest. So after we harvest, we apply the coating so we can keep as much as we want until when we want to eat or... Yes. That's post-harvest. Before is pre-harvest. Yes. So if you want to buy, I can sell to you. It's cheaper. Okay, I can give you free. Do you want? Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jidado.
Okay, thank you.
And our last participants, Miss Shazwana binti Muhammad Noor from FKTA, Microplastics in the Breeze, tracing their journey across Malaysian skies.
Okay. We live in a world of plastics. From the clothes we wear, the electronics we use, to the food we buy, our lives are surrounded by and depend on plastic products. Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Shazwana and I'm here today to shed light on an invisible but pervasive threat, microplastics in the air. We often think of plastic pollution as an ocean problem, but microplastics have infiltrated our air, posing significant risk to both environment and human health. Microplastics are tiny plastic particles, less than 5 millimeters in diameter. They originate from the breakdown of larger plastic particles or are intentionally manufactured at small sizes for uses in products like cosmetics and cleaning agents. How do these particles enter the atmosphere? Sources are varied. Urban dust, tire wear, construction activities, and road dust release microplastics into the air. Clothing fibers. Synthetic textiles shed microfibers during washing and wearing, which can become airborne. Industrial emissions. Factories and waste treatment facilities contribute microplastics through emissions and improper disposal. These particles are then transported by wind, affecting regions far from their origin. Did you know, according to a 2019 study by Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWF, it was found that an average person consumes around 2,000 tiny pieces of plastics each week, or about 5 grams, which equates to the weight of an ATM card. Can you imagine that we consume an ATM card each week? The health implications of inhaling microplastics are concerning. They can contain toxic chemicals and pathogens. When inhaled, they may cause respiratory issues, inflammation, and even enter bloodstream. Long-term exposure could lead to serious conditions including lung disease and systemic toxicity. My research focuses on quantifying the airborne microplastic in Malaysian airshed and identifying their sources. We use advanced sampling technique and microscopic analysis. By using this, we aim to map the distribution and concentration of these particles in Malaysian airshed. Airborne microplastics represent an emerging frontier in environmental science requiring urgent attention and action. By understanding the sources, impact, and mitigation strategies, we can protect both our environment and our health. So let's work together to ensure a cleaner and safer future for all. Thank you.
Your work is on the trying to trace the journey of the microplastics from the source to whatever, right? But you say about the solution is actually to how to mitigate the problem. How do you relate that to your research?
The contribution of my research is we are going to identify this source of these microplastics via source apportionment, and then we are going to do air mass backward trajectory for the microplastic to find the distribution of the microplastics. So this knowledge, these findings can be used for the mitigation strategies and health risk assessment, but that part is not done by me.
Promising so much from so little, because you see, as you mentioned just now, washing your clothes could actually potentially produce microplastics into the air. So potentially the source is everywhere. Then it's not about, then you have to talk about, to mitigate, you have to actually must have some sense of control and so on and so forth. But it is none of the scope of your research, right?
It is outside of my research. It's like future work.
Because the way you present over, you are giving hope. But actually, the hope is not there yet.
Thank you for the question.
Okay, actually, what was the main purpose for you in actually wanting to identify the source and how it gets into the air?
The microplastics studies in Malaysia are saturated for soils and water bodies only. Like for atmospheric microplastics, it's rather new. So the research is limited, and the sources, the sizes, and the health implications of airborne microplastics and microplastics in soils and water bodies is different. So that's what motivates me to study more on the airborne microplastics.
Okay, but then
did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. I mean, you gave the reason why. And then how, if say you found problems, how were you going to solve it? Like you know that it comes from so many sources, and most of the sources it comes from is what we do on a daily basis, unless you change the type of soap or, you know.
Like what are the mitigation strategies?
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, that was not scope of my study.
I think maybe it's something that you must actually mention in your research, because it's for future recommendations.
Thank you.
You see, okay, let me phrase the question in a different way. If you were to be given a choice, which area to research on, forgetting about what you're doing now, what would you do in terms of microplastics in the atmosphere?
Oh. Let me think for a while. I want, maybe I would study on the mitigation strategies and what can we do, because the microplastics sources from airborne microplastics are what we, like you mentioned, those coming from our daily activities. So maybe I will try to focus on searching for what are the things that we can do, or what are the materials that we can develop to reduce this microplastic shed to the airborne.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shazwana.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with the end of the final presentation just now, it marks the end of today's 3MT competition. Hence, Prof. Hamid, you would like to give some words in general or no need regarding the presentations just now? Just in general.
Before that, I would like to apologize. I have to go to be a panel in one of the evaluations of the grants. In terms of the ones that I've seen before, I've seen improvements from the previous years, the way you present your work. But it is a good idea, when I was talking to you before, to actually understand the scope and the contribution of your work, and try not to over-promise. And you have to understand, the audience is not in your area, even if the area they're in research. So understanding the core problem and the contribution of your work is very, very important actually. Okay? But apart from that, I think it's better than previous years. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof, for the comments. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, participants, okay, now is the time for the judges to award you with marks, okay? So please be patient while they discuss among them and thinking how many marks to give it to you, okay? And meanwhile, let us watch a video of Tahun Melawat Perlis. Alright, enjoy.
This is Perlis, a place that is bonded together by its people and heritage, where stories of old come alive through its beauty and rustic charm. There is something that makes this land an unforgettable escape for those who visit, making it one of Asia's best-kept secrets. Getting here is a breeze via the many modes of travel from anywhere in Malaysia. We know ensuring a smooth journey is as important as the destination. Perlis, an alluring destination that offers every traveller a special moment to experience. An eco-traveller's dream. Experience a journey that awakens the senses for all those that dare. For the even more adventurous, venture into Kelam Cave, a cave system through a limestone hill that has been in the making for millions of years. A rock climber's paradise that scale the sides of Ketteri Hill and breathe in an atmosphere of adventure that is unique to this region. If one is lucky enough, catch a glimpse of the uniquely exotic wildlife whilst traversing through their natural habitat. Visit the Snake Park, where visitors can view the many types of snakes and other natural wildlife in a safe environment. Stroll along Malati Lake Recreational Park to relax in a serene environment where the water and trees blend in a seamless surrounding. Perlis is host to an abundance of farmland. that grows various types of fruits, where you can also witness firsthand the many products made from it. Why not visit one of our many plantations, where the fruits and produce is as fresh as it can be? The Perlis Herbal Forest is a botanist's dream, where one can view the many different types of herbs that can be found in Perlis. Offering a host of accommodation in many forms, try staying in a homestay for a truly local experience. Take a walk along Jalan Kanggar, showcasing a diverse collection of street art and activities that are sure to fulfill your photography collection. Sample the traditional delicacies and a fusion of modern-day delights. Our specialty local dishes are sure to leave your palate wanting more. If you're in the mood for some shopping, stop by the border town of Padang Besar, where there's always something for everyone. Experience shopping under the cover of nature, where the shops are set up under rubber trees, creating an authentic feel of shopping as it was in days past. Kuala Perlis, a place where the night comes alive with activities. Located by the seafront, prepare for an abundance of delicacies that cater to everyone's personal taste. Take a quick detour to visit the residence of His Majesty, the Raja of Perlis. Once there, one must visit Masjid Albi, where religion blends with architecture to emote a sense of calm and serenity, tracing its history back hundreds of years. Visit Kota Kayang Museum to get a feel of our proud heritage. Festivals abound in Perlis. Feel the warmth and culture of traditional games at the East Wind Festival, where you experience the real vibrance of the locals competing and enjoying themselves. If your timing is right, witness the scenes at our annually held longboat racing at the Water Festival. Feel the highly charged atmosphere that will leave you cheering for your favourite team. Experience Perlis, a truly magical place that emotes a sense of love for nature and the environment, that comes together with a blend of tradition and history that transcends time. A destination like none other. Welcome to Perlis, Asia's best kept secret.
Pandai diberikan emas permata, emak manis ala amboi ambon. Aku nyawa engkau rada. Kau memang kuat. Hai, saya Hadir Rospi. Saya Siti Nurganiza. Iris Rospi. Saya Saraswati. Kami. Jom pakai mic ke Perlis. Saya nak ajak pakai abang-abang main. Perlis. Tahun melawat Perlis? Pada tahun 2024 dan 2025 ada banyak tempat lain dekat Perlis tu. Dekat main no? Dah selamat main lah.
This is a magical place, full of wonders and surprises. This is a place of inspiration, where nature and arts collide. This is a place of serenity, calm, peaceful, and untroubled. This is Perlis.
Perlis Indra Kayangan. Semuanya boleh dirasai dan dinikmati di sini. Pastinya pengalaman yang baru dan segar dibawa pulang bersama. Pemandangan landscape yang mempesona oleh penciptanya. Rumah inap yang menarik serta berdekatan dengan alam semula jadi. Hidangan variasi makanan yang menyelerakan. Kemajuan industri pertanian yang anda boleh alami sendiri. Budaya yang unik serta adat warisan yang dijaga dengan sempurna zaman berzaman. Ayuh bersama terokai Perlis. Dan yang paling dirindui adalah layanan rakyatnya yang mesra, sentiasa tersenyum, membuatkan kami terasa selamat seperti berada di rumah sendiri. Terima kasih, Perlis.
Hai, saya Mas Anizan.
Saya Felix Iman.
Saya Nafiz Zaidi.
Saya Diki Ismail.
Saya Widiawati.
Saya Syarah Elrania. Saya Nurul Izzati binti Cik Ahmad.
Saya sebagai anak dari negeri Perlis, saya ingin menyeru kepada anda semua, seluruh rakyat Malaysia,
ingin mengajak anda semua
Mempakat Kak Mai datang ke Perlis. Jom melawat Perlis, tahun melawat Perlis. Jom.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, with that we have come to the pinnacle of today's event, the announcement of the winners. Therefore, I currently invite Yang Berusaha Associate Professor Teknologi Dr. Rozianti Rahman, accompanied by Yang Berusaha Dr. Afendi Rojan, Deputy Director of CGS, to hand over the certificates first to all the participants. Please welcome. Please welcome Miss Gadir Muhammad. Next, Mr. Faharul bin Zubir. Miss T. Ho Wood. Miss Ong Shi Wit. Miss Nur Farizah Nadirah binti Jaafar. Miss Fatin Shakirah binti Halim. Miss Shazwani binti Muhammad Fuzi. Miss Azlini binti Cik Hassan. Miss Tasnim binti Sofri. Mr. Muhammad Syukur bin Abdul Rahim. Miss Monisha Devi, anak perempuan Elan Solan Marimutu. Mr. Jidado Muhammad Junai. And Miss Shazwana binti Muhammad Noor. Okay, thank you, Dr. Afendi. Finally, the moment that everyone has been waiting for, the winners of today's 3MT competition. With that, I would like to invite our head judge, Yang Berusaha Professor Dr. Hamid Adam, to join Dr. Rozianti on the stage. Please welcome. Okay, there will be two categories. The first one is the social science category. Second place runner-up, Miss Azlini binti Cik Hassan. today's winner, Miss Ong Shi Win. Runner-up, Miss Monisha Devi, anak perempuan Ellen Solan Marimutu. And the winner, Mr. Jidado Muhammad Junai. And as the token of appreciation to our judges, please welcome Dr. Sharmini Abdullah. Okay, next one, Professor Madya IR, Dr. Syaiful Zamri Abdul Rahim. And last but not least, our head judge, Professor Dr. Abdul Hamid Adom. Okay, thank you, Prof. Hamid, and thank you, Dr. Rosianti. Let us give a big round of applause to our participants, judges, and the secretariats, of course, for their dedication and hard work in ensuring the success of this year's 3 minutes THESIS competition. We hope that the participations will increase in the upcoming years, inshallah, and we will be able to listen again to more exceptional and excellent ideas and also presentations. Okay, to all winners, a reminder